All right, let's turn this video on. Let's see what life was like in Washington for Andy. All right, I'm gonna try to splice this into the video. If not, I'll just describe it to you. So, all right, let's go.
So this was my last day at Aero Precision, and I decided
Oh my god, dude! Look at me. Look, technical difficulties
already.
All fucking ready.
And I decided to film what my commute is like, just to remind me of why I was leaving Washington State.
Right.
Because there was not a lot of people out here are like, it's been 3 years now.
Yeah.
And they always ask me, I was like, why'd you leave Washington? And rather than explain what life is like, I always show them this video.
Yeah, just show
them. And everybody's like, why? How? And it's like, well, this is what life is like in Washington. Every freaking green space, every sidewalk, every ditch,
If just in case I don't put this in,
so what you're looking at is a regular suburb street, not downtown anywhere. This is a suburb street, like a street right outside your house,
right? And
this is like that's probably about 100 cars and tents in there. And
a bunch of homeless people.
People. Yeah, and it's doing the repeat. But the other side of the street is just as bad. I took film of both sides of the street. I just kept this one.
You know, it's crazy because we have that here in all major cities. You know, they have these, unfortunately. But how bad was it in Washington? Like where were you at? What city?
I was living in Bonnie Lake.
Okay.
That's a suburb outside of Puyallup. It's closer to Tacoma than it is Washington. It's in the foothills of the Cascade Mountains. Bonnie Lake wasn't as bad, but soon there's like a highway. As soon as you go down the hill, you have to go down the hill to go anywhere. As soon as you go down the hill, that's when the tents start. And basically, that was creeping up to us. So basically, what happens is like whenever there's a green patch or whatever, someone will probably pitch a tent.
Yeah.
The underpasses were first because that's shelter. It rains there all the time. Then you get, those little green spots where they have trees and growed out stuff that people don't really build on and stuff. There's a lot of it out there. There's a lot of evergreen forest out there.
Right.
A lot of it's privately owned. Some of it's public. Some of it, nobody owns it because it's an easement for a power company and whatever. But they'll try to hack into those bushes there and try to hide themselves, but they'll put up a 50-person encampment.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And when it's an encampment,
50 people back there
easily.
Yeah.
Well, when I was working at Aero Precision on Pearl Street in downtown Tacoma, there was an underpass right across the street from us, and in that underpass there was about 500 people living in there.
Oh my god!
And it was the low spot. There was like a little. Whenever it rained, you always get a lake, and they'd always be wallowing in the mud and
shit.
Yeah. It's not out here. You have no idea what it's like. Like. There would be every couple of days I'd have to chase someone out of my backyard because they'd hop the fence and pitch a tent and think they own the place.
In your yard?
In your backyard.
What the I've heard about that in California. You hear all the stories.
It happens in Oregon and Washington too. It's not as bad as California. California is a fucking shithole.
Yeah, it is.
You will not.
At least areas. Surely Northern California is probably a lot, No,
it's all up that coast. If you get
there were some areas I've been over there that aren't bad, but like you said, it's just metropolitan areas. Yeah, that's really what it is.
It's the suburbs in the cities. Like my mom had about 5 acres outside of Auburn, Washington. It got to the point, before she died, that I was chasing people out of her freaking property all the time, and her property wasn't anywhere like any amenities at all. There wasn't even a freaking gas station for 5 miles away.
What do the police do when you call them?
Nothing.
Really?
They can't do anything. Can't trespass them. You trespass them, they just kick them off and they'll be back in a week. The violent crimes, when I left, I don't know the situation is now, but the way the police response time in any of the areas was about an hour for whatever.
Oh my God.
If someone's trying to beat you to death with a weapon, it's an hour.
But this is a perfect example of what I tell people, okay? I understand guns are scary. I get it. Things that you're not used to, that are foreign to you, are going to be scary. We see this in a lot of different situations, okay?
Yeah.
So to overcome that, just like a lot of fears, you must embrace it. And if you embrace it, then it will become comfortable to you. You know what I mean? So if you learn how to use a gun slowly, do whatever. If you know somebody that knows how to use one that can educate you, fucking YouTube. YouTube will teach you all you know. Learn these things, get comfortable with them, and then, because ultimately you are the first line of defense when this shit happens.
Pretty much.
Like you said, the cops are going to be an hour away.
Yeah.
So you call them wait?
If they come at all.
I'm not saying every homeless person is going to attack you, but you want to take the risk? You don't know what's going to happen. If you have kids in your backyard playing.
Yeah, I did not rely on the police if anything happened. You called them after the fact. Something stole your crap because you get your catalytic converter stolen all the time out there. It's a rite of passage. In fact, it's gotten so bad.
It's a rite of passage.
In fact,
it really is. Dude.
It gets to a point where when you buy a car, you do what they call as a cat delete. Mm-hmm. You go to the shop or you do it yourself. You rip your cat out and you just straight pipe your emissions. So if it's not there, they can't steal it.
Right.
The other people tried to do these cat wraps where they take the catalytic converter and they'll just wrap fucking braided steel all the way around it, make it harder for them to hot wrench it out. And it takes them a little bit of a while.
Yeah, because a lot of times they're just coming in with a battery powered sawzall and just going right through
it's bad because a catalytic converter a lot of times will cost you $5,000-$6,000 to replace. And all these tweakers are going to get is they're going to take it to the scrapyard and they might get $1,000 out of it.
Yeah, because what's it got in it?
It's got precious metals. It's got has zinc, gold, something else in there. It's just all the stuff that makes your exhaust smell nicer when it leaves the vehicle.
That's what I thought. That's why they're a little more valuable. But
yeah, it's all the precious metals in there. It's all the stuff that they're used to make electronics.
I remember one time I was working in North Kansas City at a shop. It was Best Tool at the time. Then Horizon ended up buying it. But there was a homeless camp in the woods back there too. And it was huge, man. And they were stealing shit out of our little gated area.
Oh, yeah.
And they had taken one of the maintenance guys something out of his toolbox he had there in his truck or something like that. And I'm running my machine at the time. I was running this Akuma, and I look over and I see him, and he's just like pulling out a pistol, putting it in his pants, and about to go into that and get his shit back, dude. And I was like, and man, he was such a good dude, man. It's sad because he has ALS.
Oh yeah.
And God, dude, that shit's a nasty disease, man. The things like, what's it, like a 5-year death sentence?
Something. I don't. It depends on how fast it progresses.
Yeah, how severe. Yeah, I don't even know if he's still alive, man. I hope he is. But he was a cool ass dude, and went down there. And when he came back, and I was like, "You all right, man?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good. I just went to go get my shit back." I guess, but he didn't find nothing down there. They take it real quick, get rid of it.
Yeah.
So, but he said there was like a whole fucking camp down there, man. And dude. It sucks, dude, because I feel bad for some of those people, but some of them I don't, because some of them are, you got lazy fucks, you got people that are hit economically wise, they're just on a fucking hard luck. Then you've got, the poor people that have been through so much trauma, who are all drug ridden out. You just got you have different stories for all these people, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, what do we do? Because apparently the city's trying to fix the problem and it only gets worse, which I don't know why we rely on the city or the government for anything.
And it's not to knock Kansas City too. I don't believe any municipality is actually doing anything.
Right.
They're just kicking the can down the road.
Probably.
If they really wanted to do something about it, they'd instruct the cops, pick them up off the street, take them to a facility where they'll get clean or they'll die. Mm-hmm. And it would be on the taxpayer's dollar. And that's why nobody's doing it, because you have to pay money for that facility and you got to be quote unquote humane about it. And
well,
you also
talk about opening up those, I think more for people with mental disorders is what there's a lot of homeless people with those disorders as well.
But you also have to deal with the Constitution, and the Constitution says people have rights no matter what condition they're in. Yeah. So technically the cop can't really pick them up if they're not doing anything wrong. They can trespass them, but that means you have to put them through the system. Mm-hmm. And in Washington State, the system's so overrun. If you are caught doing a serious crime in most municipalities, they will arrest you. They'll put you back in the squad car and they'll drive you to their jurisdiction's limits. They'll issue out a court date and kick you out of the squad car.
Right.
There's no booking or none of that bullshit.
See, I would rather...
Because the jails are so full up, the system's so overrun, their court date's going to be 3 years from that date. They're never going to go and attend that court. So it's just going to be this revolving thing. And most of the times, the problem, that person that committed that act is probably going to commit a lot more acts along the way, and they're going to end up either in jail for something more serious, or they're just going to find their corpse somewhere. That's the reality of the situation. In fact, that's what prompted them to clean out the homeless camp in front of my work. Too little, too late, is because one day the cops showed up because someone called because the smell was really bad. They pulled a body out of there, and that body didn't die of natural causes.
Shit.
Oh yeah, it was. But nobody called until the smell got really bad.
Right,
It's like, oh God.
Dude, this is what I think they should do. Stop all the fucking government programs bullshit that's not working. We see it's not working in any other states. We see it's not working here. We've already heard of the mess that, or the some of the solutions they do by picking them up and dropping them off in other cities and other states. And
yeah, that's even worse.
Even worse. Okay. I think they just need to back the fuck out. If you want to let churches, if you want to let private organizations give them food or whatever, I can't stop you from doing that. I think that should be allowed, but the government has to stay out of the shit. And then it needs to be that laws need to be enforced. If they're going into your backyard and setting up a tent, there needs to be some strict laws for that, because you are going onto somebody's private property.
Oh yeah,
and that's the only thing the government should be protecting is a citizen's well-being and their property. And I understand that individual is also a citizen as well, and we want to protect their well-being. But if you're infringing on somebody else's, we can't. That's where we got to draw the line.
We got to draw the line on that. And I agree. It's like they spend way too much money on the situation. We're not getting anything out of it. I want to spend money on the situation, but I want the problem to be fixed.
Right.
I understand, these social programs were put into place with well intentions. The problem is they don't work. Yeah. They need a program that works. And most of the times, like if you look towards Salt Lake City had, I was reading up into this, they were doing the housing first initiative. Like the first thing is like they made it a crime for you to be sleeping on the streets. If you're found sleeping on the streets, they're going to pick you up, but they're not going to take you to jail. They're going to put you up in a shelter. Mm-hmm. And they don't care at the shelter whether you're on drugs or all the trauma, or if you're mentally ill or not. You have a choice from that perspective to actually partake in the social programs that they have at that shelter. But it all should be centralized. Washington State spent...
The mic will pick it up. No, you're good.
Washington State spent $1 billion with a B to fix the homeless situation, and it's getting worse. So obviously the money's not there. You could do so much with $1 billion with a B. Mm-hmm. Why aren't they doing it?
I don't know. Well, I think they're fighting a losing battle regardless. I mean, because think about, and whether or not you'd have to really break this down, and it would be a hard study to have. I mean, you'd have to go through all these camps and figure out and hopefully be given the correct information of how did you get here? You know what I mean?
Well, regardless of how they got there.
Because I would say that some of it probably stems due to bad luck on money, and job loss and stuff like that. But I don't know if that's a large portion. And if it is, that's not something we're going to win, because the government keeps devaluing the dollar every year that goes on. I mean, it's I think I read one time it was like only worth 30% of what it was since it's been invented, or since the federal government has been enacted in 14 or whatever it is. It's depreciated ever since then.
So yeah, but the thing is with $1 billion with a B, you could definitely buy a facility.
Right.
The bare minimum facility where you could send these people to, and hopefully they can get their situations fixed. The reality of the situation is not going to get fixed. They're probably going to end up dying at that facility. Either they're going to be too strung out on drugs, or they got so many diseases from the street. Mm-hmm. But there's going to be a small percentage of people that can actually turn their life around. But right now, they're living in a tent on the side of the road.
Right.
And they probably, if they had a job, they're probably not going to keep that job for long, because how can you keep a schedule when you're sleeping in a tent on the side of the road?
Yeah.
I've known some people that actually lived in their cars for about a year or two before they could get back into housing, because housing situation on the West Coast is ridiculous. You are talking about $2,000 a month at least for rent for a single bedroom in a bad neighborhood. So
what's it like in the suburbs? Kind of like where I live. What do you think rent's going for there?
Oh, it's
or
worse.
Houses.
You'll renting any type of house out there, you're talking about $6,000 a month.
What's a house like this cost over there to buy?
It's
like 1,200 square feet. Small house, small ranch.
You're looking at about $500,000-$600,000.
Oh my God!
I sold. Okay.
Hey Dom, you feel better now? Looking for a home here in Kansas City?
So, to put you in perspective, I had a 1,400 square foot house in Bonnie Lake in a great neighborhood. It was a good neighborhood. It was not the best neighborhood, but it was a good neighborhood. I sold that for, I think, it was close to $600,000. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-story house, no basement.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No basement?
No basement. I probably had a smaller yard than yours.
Really?
Yeah, it was close to $600,000.
God damn. I bet you cashed in.
I did. I bought it in 2013, right when the market was starting to pick up, but it was still down because of the economic crisis.
2013? That's when I bought my first house. Yeah. I tell people about this, especially, the guys at our work that are young. Yeah. I'm like, dude, it was so easy buying a house back then, man. I bought my house was twice the size of this house, almost 2,000 square feet. I bought it for $100,000 back then. I should have held on to that fucking house.
I bought it for, I think it was $275 at the time. So I cashed in. My mom's house, I did a lot better on when she died. She had 5 acres in King County, which is that's a built up county. It's she bought it in the 60s. She actually bought 3 houses in the 60s all on the same property. It was about $30,000 she spent on it. I don't remember. My dad paid for it, but I lived there until like the early 2000s, and then I moved out.
Really?
But yeah, I sold her house for close to $700,000-$800,000 only because her house was under high voltage power lines. That was the only thing. It would have been $1 million property.
Yeah. All that money's gone. Leave Andy alone. Don't ask him for money.
Yeah, I spent it all. Besides, I don't go on the internet, so good luck.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I know. Let's see, that's nothing, bro. I only got a phone number, and I was lucky enough to get that.
Yeah, I
thought he was going to be like, I'll send you my owl with a letter.
Almost. I think I have delivery squirrels.
Delivery squirrels.
Yeah, I don't do Facebook. I don't do the Instagram or the Twitter.
I don't blame you, dude.
It's just. Yeah,
but
I don't have time for that.
I know you do the YouTube though.
I do watch YouTube.
Yeah.
That's instead of cable. I don't have cable anymore. I got a Netflix account and YouTube.
You see though, it's coming back though. It's almost like as if you're paying as much as cable though.
Pretty much, yeah.
With all the subscriptions.
Yeah, especially the subscriptions, but they should get a clue, because I think Netflix is doing pretty good just because they're not Disney.
Right.
And Disney's getting a lot of hate right now.
Oh yeah,
for good reason.
What were they doing?
Oh, the DEI bullshit.
Oh
and
yeah,
all that
yeah,
stuff.
I've seen all that shit.
And all the Marvel flops they've been kicking out. So
yeah, dude, fucking. That's one thing I didn't like about Marvel. I love Marvel. Marvel, it's fun, but I wish it was a little more. I don't know. They put some weird shit in there. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. They put a little weird shit in there. They put it's almost too humorous at times. It's hard to take serious. I like how the DC is a little more darker. You know what I mean? Like when they did the Joker or Batman, like stuff like that. For some reason, it's just hard to. I kind of take serious. But that's just me.
Yeah,
I'm not much of a comic guy, so I don't know.
Yeah, I read a lot of comics. Before I left Washington State, I sold all my comics because, it was just dead weight at this time. You could get them all digitally. But as a kid, though, this is probably dating myself. This is before freaking phones and computers and all that stuff. You went to the store and you bought your comics, and that's how you got your media.
Yeah,
people read magazines.
Yeah.
Back in the day, people read books too. So
that's true.
I still read books, but
So you got a book right there.
Yeah, this one's for you. This is this is the book I was telling you about.
Thanks, dude.
This will bring you up to speed on everything since 1930.
Okay. Rise to Globalism.
And the good thing about that book is you don't have to read it from page 1 to page n. You can pick a chapter because it pretty much gives you timelines of eras in American history where basically they're explaining the foreign policy of the time. Mm-hmm. And they're talking about, I read that late 90s, they revised it after, revised it after 9/11. I think it's current to 2010. Stephen Ambrose first wrote the book in the 90s, and then this other guy, he kind of added on to it after Ambrose died. But basically, he tries to be as apolitical as possible when he's explaining the things. You can't get out of the politics sometimes of some things. Like the Great Depression, that is a political time. Mm-hmm. I don't care who you are, because J. Edgar Hoover, he was the president at the time, and the reason why the Republicans lost their shirt in the next election was because of the Great Depression. Yeah. Because they called all the shanty towns. If you think Washington's bad now, the shanty towns were all called Hoovervilles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because, they pinned it all on him because he believed in the free market, and the free market just took a nosedive.
I know, but I wonder why it took a nosedive, though. I haven't looked too much into the Great Depression, so I definitely have to watch like a huge documentary on it.
That'll bring you up to speed.
I will read that as well. Hopefully they got an audio version on Spotify too.
I don't know if they do. They might.
They probably do. Dude, I love reading books. It's the fact of making time I'm really bad at.
The cool thing,
some of those I do read, but a lot of them are audio.
Well, like I said, the cool thing about this is like if you just want to learn about a specific period of time,
go to the index and
go to the index, go to the pages where it starts, and you're just going to be reading about 10, 13 pages.
Because I'm a free market dude. Yeah. Libertarian, man. Free market always works. But now you're saying that during the Great Depression.
So
I'll have to read it for sure.
So my take on this is the problem with non-regulation and free anything or free market or anything. Mm-hmm. There's always going to be some jackhole that exploits the system until it crashes.
You would say that's probably the same now, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So we're fucked regardless.
Pretty much. So what the Great Depression taught us, I hope, is that, you can't just let things run amok, run wild, even though you want them to. If you believe in freedom, you want them to run wild. Mm-hmm. There has to be some sort of at least a minimal safety net.
Right.
I'm not a socialist. I don't believe in social programs. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that the government should fund, cosmetic surgeries for people. Mm-hmm. I don't believe the government should, foot the bill for a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But I do believe the government should be there to protect the big things like the market, because the market will go wild. And then the reason why the 2008 happened, the 2008 crash, is because they were giving everybody a mortgage.
I remember us talking about
and
this.
And there was no regulation or brakes on the systems to prevent people from getting a mortgage. And the banks were just running wild with it because the people that were selling these mortgage, all they were doing is getting commission. They don't care if the person really was going to pay for it or not. So they were basically just selling people lies. And eventually the truth hit them all hard on the head.
Why were they why were they just giving out mortgages like candy?
Because was there like a
increase? Like there was a shortage of purchasing homes, or what was going on?
There was no shortage. It was a boom. People were building houses as fast as they could.
Right, I'm saying, but were people buying them? Is that why
they were buying them as fast as they could too?
Oh, okay.
But the thing is this is the problem with it. If you are someone who's selling a house, you're going to get a commission on the sale of the house, regardless of whether the person can pay for it or not.
Right.
If you're selling the mortgage to buy that house, the person selling that mortgage, all he gets is a commission, he or she. A lot of female mortgage brokers, all they get is a commission. They don't care if they're going to if the purchasers are going to actually be able to pay for it all. Mm-hmm. They just want to complete the paperwork and get their commission because that's where they make their money.
Right.
So if all you're motivated to do is to complete the paperwork and make the money, you're not going to look at the bigger consequences down the road. There's a lot of people that predicted the crash. They said, "Hey, wait a minute, this is unregulated. We need to pump the brakes on this." And everybody's going like, what are you talking about? This is great. People are making money. And it's like, you're making money, but the breaks are going to happen. And they did. And a lot of people lost their jobs because the banking industry invested into the mortgage companies and the lenders and everything. So they had to get bailed out. And they had to get bailed out because they made a stupid investment. When everybody...
By taxpayer dollars. It's where your money goes.
Yeah. But if they had regulation in the first place to prevent them from doing that, this wouldn't have happened. That's why there's going to be a housing crash sometime in the future. I don't think so now, since they just lowered the interest rates. I think now it's going to be they're going to pump that housing economy further.
Yeah.
What they're doing is,
if they can sell them, all they're building is either affordable housing, and then it's $500,000 homes. So where are the $150,000 homes? Where are those at?
What they're doing is they're kicking the can down the road right now. There's gonna be a crash. I hope there's gonna be a crash and the market corrects itself, because I want to buy some more property.
Yeah.
It's
a good opportunity too at that time, but it just sucks, man, because a lot of people are going to be fucked. I remember during that time, I think I started machining around that time, around 2011, I think it was. So it's towards the tail end, but you still seen work was still pretty slow. I remember I joined the union back then, the painters union. Couldn't find a contractor to hire me because everybody was just kind of...
Yeah, construction was stopped.
Yeah, everything was slow. That's how I got into machining.
Yeah.
And even that, luckily where I went to, they had just came back like I think a year or two ago. They were working like 36 hours. Like they weren't working very much. I don't even think they were getting 40 in. Like it was bad. So, but it was also a different time back then too, man. It wasn't like what it is now. It's not like you went to the grocery store and $400 is a full cart. It's insane, man. The prices right now of everything. But that's what happens when you print money and print money and print money, and you have nothing to back it. You're just gonna naturally, the dollar's not gonna be worth as much as it was. So
unfortunately, I think when the housing crashes, it's not going to be as bad this time around, just because there's systems in place to prevent the banks from losing their shirt on it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Which they had to learn their lesson the hard way. And that's unfortunate about anything about a free society, is there's always going to be the one guy that ruins it.
One guy or multiple guys?
Multiple guys. Yeah. It's like, there's a reason why
it's usually rich dudes and politicians, man. Which is why I understand why the left kind of gets upset with the rich. And the right gets upset as well, too. This isn't like a divided thing. There's going to be people in each groups that will just be blind loyalists no matter what. But really, we need to objectively point out the people that are the problem. Whether or not they're rich, whether or not they're politicians, whether or not they're left or right, doesn't fucking matter. If they're doing wrong, it needs to be pointed out. That's what I hope. Like, this is why I'm happy Trump got into office. Other than, like, I'm not happy. I'm pissed off on 180 on his campaign. I've talked about this before. He spoke on a lot of libertarian principles. Super excited about it. Finally hearing the president talk about it. Gambled 50-50. Fucking failed. What can he do? It's not like I had much to pick from. You guys don't give me much to pick from, But it's like, you have this. I'm glad that now the conservatives are seeing that the Republicans are just as bullshit as the Democrats now.
Yeah.
So now, hopefully, which I'm seeing online, and granted, I'm not, I can't see everything, but it looks like everyone's starting to come together a little bit on all the bullshit. So hopefully we'll see some unity.
There might be a correction come November.
Well, because they're making it seem like it's, the whole Charlie Kirk thing and how sad that was. And just everyone now is supposedly divided and fighting and blah, blah. Granted, yes, there is people. Even on my Facebook, even on my Instagram, I've seen people, really Instagram, I don't really use Facebook as much. But on Instagram, I have family members that are posting shit that just don't make sense, weird. It almost seems like kind of a trend of just following the narrative of the side they kind of gravitate to more. And a lot of them, I've talked to them personally, and they know nothing about politics, which is weird. Not saying I know a ton, but I know a lot more than a lot of other people. But it just seems like a trend, and on both sides, and on the MAGA side as well. You know what I mean? Like they're just this whole war. You know, that's why I posted a post. I posted a post about Charlie Kirk's comments being taken out of context, because that shit was just driving me nuts, man. I'm like, come on, guys. Are we being like you're going off of clips that are 30 seconds to 45 seconds long, and then ultimately determining not if he's whatever you may think he is. You have to, in order to understand all of this, you know this, we talk about this all the time. You have to listen, unfortunately, to hours and hours and hours of content to be able to understand a lot of these things. Because if you just listen to 30 seconds of it, or a minute, or 30 minutes, it's too surface level. You have to dig deeper to be able to understand, because you're going to be shocked. Oh my God, why is he talking about that? That's a no. I've always been told you don't discuss this. Like you have to do more. And if you're not going to do more, then you got to stay the fuck out of the way. You know what I mean? Because if you're not going to put in the work, you're not going to put in the effort, you're just going to look stupid.
Yeah, and that's why I don't go on the internet.
Yeah. And if you are going to look stupid, at least sit back and other people when they're talking to you. Because I've seen the left make good points. I've seen the right make good points. You have to be able to listen to one another and go, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Even though it doesn't align with what they're telling me over here, that does kind of make sense. You know, we have to be open to this stuff, because if we're not, we're just going to fight each other the rest of,
Pretty much.
Know what I mean? For all eternity.
There's a lot of people that are hoping for it, and I don't, because...
Fuck no, dude, you know what a war means? Like, the dude shouting war, you probably going to die first.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, are you willing to see a civil war between, your fucking neighbors down the street, you know, and are you going to kill them? You know, are you going to go and shoot them? No, fuck no, you're not going to. You know, everyone thinks they have the balls to do something until it's time to.
Yeah.
Defending yourself is one thing, but if you think you're going to be a civil war and you're going to go fucking, you know, kill each other just cold-blooded, no, man, that's crazy. You can't do that shit. And I don't want that. And trust me, a lot of the videos that I've seen that are ridiculous on YouTube fucking irritates the shit out of me. But hey, man, if they want to live their life, you know, being as miserable like that, and especially I've seen the same shit on the right, you know. Well, I'm pointing to the left. The same shit on the right, you know. If you're going to be miserable, there's probably nothing I can do, and hateful. There's nothing I can do to pull you out of it. You know what I mean? Whether or not you believed in Charlie Kirk or not, there are a lot of things that I didn't believe in. You know, on what he discussed in. Well, I can't even say a lot. There's a handful of things. Palestine being one of them. That was a big one that I didn't agree with him with. I didn't like his silence on that. I didn't like his relationship with Israel. But that doesn't mean that, you know, oh, he was a racist or a piece of shit or whatever they make him out to be. Honestly, if you were to look at the net positive that he created, got a bunch of young people towards Christianity, purpose, some sort of meaning to life, whether or not you believe in Christian values or not, if it's helping people, that's all that matters, you know, giving direction for the youth who kind of felt forgotten, you know, and fucking, not only that, getting people into discussing trades and stuff like that, like going to find work, not only in colleges, but you can go to trade school too and get a job as a plumber, as a construction worker, as a semi-truck driver, you know, like these are still valuable jobs. You don't have to have a fucking blue check mark and throw a football around to be an important figure to society. Yeah. You know?
Well, and I kind of appreciate what he was doing, because when I was going through college, there was none of that. You set foot on a university pretty much in every state. I don't know about the University of Montana. They're pretty conservative out there. Same with Idaho. They're pretty conservative out there. But on the West Coast, if you're on any type of university, you were in liberal territory. You could not, there was no college Republicans, or if they were, it was a minority of a minority. Mm-hmm. There was no expressing that type of views on those campuses while I was going through there, because you were just going to get shouted out in the drowning noise. Mm-hmm. You know, you had Christians try to come onto the campus, you know, with their anti-abortion stuff, and they'd always get graffitied on and shit thrown at them. Really?
And see, that's crazy, man.
Well, you know, in Western Washington growing up, I saw it go from a conservative community all the way to an ultra liberal community.
Right.
Like growing up, I live near a dairy farm where they let me go hunt ducks on their sluice pond. And now all that shit's a freaking housing development, a shopping mall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all that stuff's paved over. Yeah, there was farms where I grew up. And
that's another thing, man. He went on campuses and he debated people.
Oh, yeah. And he debated
anybody.
Yeah. And
which was crazy. Some of the people were like, why'd you even let that motherfucker up there? But that was cool, man. That he allowed
was willing to talk to the people he disagreed with.
I've seen him lose some. I've seen him win a lot. You know, like the thing is discussion. That's the thing. You can, but my biggest thing, dude, and the problem is the government having too much power. If you're allowing each side power enough to dictate policies or to enact policies that are going to dictate your life, we're going to keep fighting each other because you guys are giving power to that party that's in there that you believe in.
Yeah.
They're not always going to be there. There's going to be another party in 4 years or 8 years. So ultimately, then they're going to use that power against you at some point. If we eliminate that and try to condense it, this is my belief. You know, I'm not speaking for you or anybody else, but a libertarian mindset is, or ideology is that like, if you can kind of shrink the power of government, it allows others to be able to live more independently. Not saying it's going to be super safe, you know. Anything can be dangerous. I mean, we have tons of laws right now. This is my big beef with, when it comes to the left and on gun control and all these new gun policies or whatever they want to implement. We already have them. They're not working.
God, I forget how many gun laws are on the books. There's something like 58,000 or some stupid number. I don't quote me on that, but
but violence from guns, I believe, is a symptom to an underlying problem. Yeah, you know, there's something else. There's something else going on. The gun is the tool being used, but it's being blamed only. It makes no sense at all. But really, that's what I think. You need to be able to get these people out, be able to shrink them down to where they're only dealing with certain things, which I discussed earlier, protecting of the citizen and its property only. And, you know, the rest you should be responsible for. You want to live in the United States and have freedom, then you need to live that life freely. Not, daddy, tell them what to do, or tell me what to do. No, fuck that, dude. Like, especially like when grown men say that shit, I'm like, really, man? Really? You know, like, I get what you want and I understand your side of why you want it, because you feel like you want to have hope that there are individuals out there that will do good. But have they? Has this gotten better or has this gotten worse? You know what I mean?
Like, it's a good question. I like libertarian ideals. I do. The only thing we have to have a system in place to where we can at least pay for the roads, pay for water quality, and maybe have a healthcare system.
Well, I think libertarians back that. I don't think they would not. I think you're thinking of more of an anarchist route. I think that would be more.
I think libertarians are like, if everybody was agreed to pay for the roads, we'd all chip in and pay for the road and get it done. It wouldn't be a government entity to pay the road. That's paraphrasing what the libertarian ideals are.
Well, you got to remember we're split too. Yeah. So depending on which side of the line you're talking libertarian, you know, we debate about a couple of things. Borders being one of them. What's the other one that they debate about all the time? I can't remember.
Narcotics. All the time.
Nah, usually drugs is pretty universal. Yeah, they wanted I feel everybody... like with the Libertarian Party, but there was other. I actually have it on here. Let me pull this up. I've been meaning to do this. Sorry.
No, I was
do this on your show right here. I think I've read these off before. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. I can't remember. But these are the principles of libertarians. So just so people can know, because a lot of people think they know, but they don't know what a libertarian is. All right. This may be kind of long. Sorry. First principle of libertarianism, individual liberty. Self-ownership being the second, non-aggression principle being the third, private property rights being the fourth, free markets and voluntary exchange being the fifth, limited government being the sixth, fiscal responsibility being the seventh, eighth, personal responsibility, 9, civil liberties, 10, peace and non-interventionism, 11, decentralization, and then 12 is the one that's debated the most, open or closed immigration. So,
yeah,
I am a borders libertarian. I believe in borders. I was once one that didn't believe in borders. 2020 changed my mind on that.
Yeah.
When 10 to 20 million people come over like that. So it's just not feasible. American citizens deserve to have the right to jobs first. Then we can discuss bringing in people. I'm all for immigration. I do think the policies need to be probably updated since it's been a long time. But that's pretty much the one that they fight about the most.
Yeah.
But in that, I think we'd be safe to say roads and all that stuff, even though I think they do a horrible job at that too half the time. But
I've
seen Antioch Road getting fucking construction last.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's like 2 months.
Well, I saw a lot of construction driving.
2 months. And I don't know all the details. I'd like to know. So if anybody knows, let me know. But 2 months, that road has been getting stripped up and repaved. What the fuck, man? You know, is it a budget issue? Is it you don't know how to fucking, like, who's the accountant or who's dealing with these contractors, you know? Got 3 fucking people out there every day.
Honestly, there has to be people or a movement in place that actually provides the funding to research how our money is spent.
Yeah, because but remember you told me that one time?
That's the Washington state budget. It's like volumes. It's like we need to be able to have an independent third party come in and look at this budget and say, hey, wait a minute, why are we spending money on this? Right. It would blow our minds. Honestly, the U.S. government's never going to allow that to happen because there's this black budget for them.
Yeah. You remember when that money went missing in 9/11 when they hit the Pentagon? Would they lose like $2 trillion or some shit?
Something. I don't know. But it's insane to think that, you know, you're throwing all this money at your government and you see what they have to show for it. And here's a care. I don't know if you guys have driven through Illinois at all. Have you? Yeah,
I have. I mean, a long time ago. I went to Chicago.
Yeah. Well, recently, if you drive through Illinois, it's a tollway. If you're if you're rolling on the highways, it's a tollway. And every so many miles, you have to pay like $5. And I swear to God, I don't know where that money's going to because those are the worst roads I've ever drove on. There's a pothole at every goddamn there's a pothole every 5 feet.
I feel like that's everywhere.
I paid $5 to drive on potholes. That's how I'm feeling about it. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. How do they get by this? And then you realize that, you know, Chicago and Illinois, that's the most corrupt state in the union. The money going into the toll booth is probably going to someone's back pocket.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Or it's getting redirected towards organizations that doesn't need to go to.
I used to think that, but I truly believe it's in someone's back pocket. I don't think it's going to these organizations. I think because if you look at the
I'm a conspiracy theorist. It's just I understand that's probably I'm not saying I never put anything out of 0% chance.
Because if we had someone actually look at the books to where all the money is going, then you'd realize it's like only a certain percentage of money is going into that organization, and the rest is getting funneling elsewhere. And it's like, where's the money?
Because I feel like, not saying that's not a possibility. I do agree with you. But I think a lot of the times they'll funnel the money into other things, which in the end get kickbacks. Yeah. To kind of avoid that legal loophole. You know?
Yeah. You have to, like I said, we need third party to figure out where all the money's going. And once that company, and now those guys
get the libertarians in there, hire them. They'll fucking look through that shit. We're supposed to have Doge. What the fuck, man?
Well, Doge found a lot of things, but I think what happened was
it fell through.
It fell through. Yeah. The problem is, you know, they started asking the quote unquote right questions and they got shut down.
They did.
And it's like
Elon got punched in the face. Remember when he had that black eye?
Yeah,
you remember
it's
that?
Like, goddamn.
They said there's like a black eye club. It's like people that kind of step out of line and they get recorrected. Yeah. And it was funny because right after Elon got a black eye, when I was training, I got headbutted. So I had a huge black eye. Remember you see me at work? Yeah. And so I was doing a podcast like literally that week. And I was like, oh God, they're going to, which I know my podcast ain't shit, but I was like, they're probably going to think that they got to me already. And I'm going to start fucking switching up on them.
And maybe that socialism thing ain't that bad.
Yeah. Maybe socialism isn't. If I ever start talking like that, I want this to be recorded and clipped this time. If I ever start talking about liberal or fucking socialist fucking programs being the way, just
they got
me. All right. They got me. All right. Here's another thing. Tell me what you think about this. Libertarianism is a political philosophy that prioritizes individual liberty, personal responsibility, and minimal government intervention in both personal and economic spheres. Libertarians believe that freedom is eroded when governments or other institutions impose restrictions on individuals' rights, whether through laws, regulations, or coercive measures. They argue that such encroachments undermine personal autonomy, property rights, and the ability to live life according to one's own values. Below is an explanation of libertarians' perspectives on how freedom is being taken, along with 5 specific examples. And I mean, it's just a long list. One day, you know what I'm going to do? I'm talking about him about doing solo episodes, and I might start streaming them. I don't know yet. But I want to go through some of these, like government surveillance, privacy violations, which I know we're going to see now with this whole bullshit, with the whole, you know, extreme left, extreme right. You know, they're going to somehow make some sort of Patriot Act number 2. You know, you remember that when that shit was passed after 9/11, everyone gave up their freedom in order for a false sense of safety.
And now they have the technology to actually do it.
I know, and it's fucking scary, man.
Well, they're already tracking you.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that they said that? So basically, the killer in the one who's they arrested for the Charlie Kirk thing. They said it was like he's in acceleration groups, which I have a buddy of mine, and I'm trying to get him on the show. So if you're watching this, you know who you are. You need to come on. But he's fucking smart as shit, man. Like this dude, I've been talking to him for years, and he helps me understand things, and I'll bounce ideas off of him, and we'll kind of go back and forth. You got to have one of those friends in your life. If you don't have one, find one. Dom. Yeah, I do the same with you too, man. I love you, buddy. But he just, what he was telling me is that he called it. He goes, dude, I think these are acceleration groups. Okay. Now, I was like, what the fuck is that? I've never even heard of that. I still wouldn't even be able to explain it to you. He would have to. My memory is not as good as others, but basically they find them in these like Discord groups, and they're like all fucking chatting away and like planning shit and bouncing ideas off of each other. But I think what's going on, dude, and from what me and him have discussed, is like these groups are being funded or kind of groomed by these government institutions, these surveillance, CIA type organizations, and in order to create this divide, that's my idea. I don't know if that's his, but that's my idea. So they're using these groups to kind of go back and forth on each other. And what does it do? It keeps both sides clinging to their teams.
Yeah.
And when you have that, I mean, you have blind loyalists, basically. You have blind followers, you know, because they're more scared now because they're being told that the other side is worse than their side. So now they're going to cling there, and their vote's always going to go to them no matter what. And it just keeps those parties going, man.
Yeah.
And it's hard and what happens when chaos is caused? There's people that are higher up that take advantage of those moments. You know, what did Hillary Clinton used to say? Never let a good crisis go to waste.
Oh, that's everybody.
Yeah.
I think freaking Stalin and Churchill both said that too. It's like, I don't know who originally said that. Oh yeah, that goes way back.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. Discussing these like excessive regulation of economic activity, taxation as coercive wealth redistribution, restrictions on free speech and expression. That's another thing that was kind of pissing me off, is that like I understand how upset the right is right now, and I really do, or the followers of Charlie Kirk. I understand, but I don't like the videos of people being fucking assholes, you know, like saying how like, oh, fuck him, glad he's dead. I think that's fucking bullshit, dude. Like, that's still a person, you know what I mean? And a person that didn't do anything. It's not like he's a piece of shit, you know, fucking robbed some lady and got shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that.
Yeah.
We can have conversations on what you don't believe in or what was being passed while all this stuff was doing, because we've seen all that shit. They were passing a lot of shit, you know, between the whole Israel relation and all this other stuff. hours, what was it, that night or the next following day, they were enacting policies through. But we have to be careful with being all about free speech, but only when it sides with you. Yeah. Because I don't like it, but you have to allow it. Now, for the dummies that think their job is protected, just like I come on here and I talk, I know damn well that my job could probably use it against me. Okay, that's a risk I take. I really don't give a fuck, to be honest. If you are going to cry wolf about, oh, I got fired, blah, 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 like I have free speech. Well, these are private businesses, man. If they don't want it, if they don't want your video associated with their business and everyone now knows that you work for them, which I get the website thing of like, you're trying to make a point because it was done to them. And we remember during COVID, well, what was it? The whole, like, if you didn't have your COVID shot, you know, people were losing their jobs. You had to have a fucking card and shit.
That was big on the West Coast too.
Yeah. Or,
you had to get the jab if you wanted to keep a job in some places.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that's stuff that they're all fucked up, man. You can't do that stuff. You can't, or even the BLM stuff, you know, a guy that was on here, Wes Graves. That's why he got a lot of flack in North Kansas City, because they were trying to put, I hope I don't butcher this, Wes. If not, go back and listen to this episode. Basically that they were trying to put those stickers on businesses in support of the BLM movement. And what happened is that he said, he was a North Kansas City council member. He goes, hey, well, what if businesses don't want to participate in that? We can't create a registry, you know, because then what if that gets out? Then, you know, they may lose customers, or they may be targeted. You know, you can't do that, because if they want to stay neutral, it's their business. They have the right to stay neutral. And dude, this dude was getting fucking death threats and get called a racist and all sorts of fucking shit, man. It's insane, dude. The hypocrisy that both sides do to each other is just retarded. It makes no fucking sense at all.
Well, there's this famous group called the Dixie Chicks. Well, they're no longer called the Dixie Chicks. They're just called the Chicks right now. I don't know if you heard of them. No.
Oh, I mean, I've heard of them, but I didn't know
they were big. Mm-hmm. They were real big in the early 2000s. And one of their guys, like in the height of the global war on terror, was because she was from Texas. She said F George Bush, you know.
Oh, really?
Because she did not like the war. Mm-hmm. They were gone overnight. Really? Just about, yeah.
And see, that's the thing. I support her in her right of saying fuck George Bush. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But you might be.
Oh, they
might get let go.
They pulled the John Lennon. It was basically people were burning their CDs and all that good stuff.
Oh, really?
Back in the day. I don't know if you know the John Lennon story. Mm-mm. All right, so the Beatles were the biggest thing in the 60s. Mm-hmm. They were huge.
Yeah, I can't stand the Beatles.
I know, but they were huge.
No, but I don't know if you're a listener of them. I knew some people that listened to them.
Oh, I got a couple of their albums.
Really? I just couldn't get into
pretty good.
Maybe I just haven't heard the right song yet.
I've come up in the day where you had Vanilla Ice, so there was not a lot of choice. There's not a lot of choice. I
know, but I'm an oldies fan, dude. Yeah. Smokey Robinson, you know, yeah. I love oldies, bro, but the Beatles I couldn't get into for some weird reason. I don't know why.
Maybe it was my parents or something. Probably. They had the original Beatles records or whatever. But no, they were big. They were huge. And John Lennon opened his mouth in front of a reporter and was like, what do you think about all the fame and stuff? And he said, I think we're bigger than Jesus.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Especially back then.
They were burning records. They were throwing them on the bonfire in both sides of the pond. It was horrendous. It took them a while to get over that. Yeah. But they're still a big band. They were still a big band. But I think because of when he said it at the time, because there was no internet and there was no echo chambers to scream it out loud. Because you only had...
You could keep it isolated.
Back in the 60s, you only had CBS, ABC, and NBC, and that was it. That was the only networks. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the people that owned the networks controlled the message. You don't have it like today where you sitting here could have your own channel and reach millions of people.
Yeah, well, maybe 5.
Who knows? But it's out there. But you and then you got 30 other people like you doing the same thing, and you're all saying something different. So, but if you all get on the same page and on the same message, that's like millions of voices coming together.
The only problem I see with nowadays is that there's so many. It's hard to catch up, which I thought I never would say that because I was such a huge supporter in podcasts. And I still am. Don't get me wrong. But there's just so much now. It's hard to keep up with everything.
Oh, I don't keep up with it.
Yeah. Luckily, a lot of them kind of say the same stuff. It's just tailored a little bit to their beliefs. But yeah, it's hard. I mean, because, you know, there's just so many out there. I mean, you get on Rumble, you get on YouTube, you get on Spotify. There's just so much out there. It's a lot of information to consume. What?
We had none of that shit when I was a kid. Yeah, I was a kid. It was great. You fucking get on your bike, you ride wherever, go to the Kmart or whatever. They don't have Kmart's anymore. Jesus.
No, they don't.
Circle K's, or you guys don't even have AM/PMs out here. AM/PM's a big gas station.
Yeah, gas station. Yeah,
we're
getting Buc-ee's.
The Buc-ee's, yeah, that's from Texas.
Yeah, I went to one.
Yeah, they're huge.
But okay.
They're awesome. I like them.
I didn't like it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was cool.
It was a little overwhelming.
No, I just don't. What the fuck do we need all that shit? Like, it's insane in there. You know, I mean, I'm not going to knock it, but I'm just like, God damn, do we really need a big ass gas station that's got 100 pumps on it and shit?
Yeah, we do.
Dude,
you're looking at capitalism at its finest.
I get that. And I couldn't believe that thing was fucking packed. I went to 2 of them coming back up from Texas when I went on a cruise.
So
I couldn't believe how many people were there.
I was like, what is the attraction of this? And then I had their breakfast burrito, and then I was a changed man.
See, I don't know, man. Their food was all right. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but I didn't try like.
They had a tortilla machine. They were making tortillas fresh in there. Oh yeah, that shit was awesome.
I seen they had brisket and shit and fucking barbecue.
It's on point.
Really?
I mean, it's not.
I had a couple of their barbecue. It was.
I like Kansas City barbecue.
It's better than Quick Trip. I'll say that. Yeah, that's true. I like Quick Trip.
I like Kansas City barbecue. As far as ethnicity in the city, I kind of miss some of my, Asian type places. Yeah, you guys need.
I know there's not much of a. Is there in Kansas City? No,
there's
I think
a
there
slight
is.
Asian community. I've
a little
talked
bit
to
northeast. Yeah, we got a couple of spots. Golden Sea, that used to be a banger.
Yeah, there was a new Pan Asian market that just opened up, and me and the wife went into it. It's kind of almost like home. Yeah, you gotta, guys got to get more diverse out here.
We're trying, man. We're trying. I don't know. I don't. Well, actually, dude, we have one over here. Do we actually have one? It's like I think it's called like Little Vietnam or some shit. I think so. Yeah, I think it's a little synagogue or something. But they've got like fuck, man. They got a gocha, a boba tea place.
Boba tea, yeah.
Bro, I love boba.
Boba's awesome.
Fucking boba. Dom gets extra balls. I usually cut mine in half. I get half the balls. Oh. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, Saigon.
Saigon? Is that what it is?
Saigon.
Yeah. Yeah, Saigon. But no, dude, they got a good broken rice over there. That's a good place. They got a good shrimp broil spot, like a broil place, man. So they're coming up. Because I like pho. Pho's good.
Pho's awesome. Yeah. There's a huge Vietnamese community in the Seattle area, and I pretty much lived in that area, that in Little Korea.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So you went to college for that, right?
Yeah, my major was Japanese linguistics.
Hell yeah. What got you all into the Asian community? What was that? Was that just growing up? You were into
just growing up into it.
Because I was a fan of Asian culture too.
I loved watching anime a lot. And I just
the
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z, bro. That's actually Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
OG. Were you a Dragon Ball fan?
I was not, actually.
What?
No.
What anime were you watching?
I was watching Akira, Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop. I hear about that one all the time.
Ghost in the Shell, the original movie.
When did those come out?
Those are the OG ones.
Like the...
Which ones?
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the...
Cowboy.
Really?
Akira will blow your mind. Don't watch it stoned.
Oh, really?
Don't watch it stoned.
Why?
For the love of God.
Are these the animes with like the chicks with the big boobs and stuff? No. Okay.
Well, Ghost in the Shell has some nudity. Yeah, it's not that much, but it's more violent.
Oh, is it?
But no, Akira is that's a mind trip.
Really?
Don't watch that.
I remember Samurai Jack. You remember Samurai Jack?
Yep.
That was on Cartoon Network.
That's not anime though. That's Gennady Tartakovsky.
What is that?
That's the dude who created Samurai Jack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he grew up watching all these cartoons and stuff, and he thought, "Man, this is so lacking." He had a lot of pent up rage as a kid because the cartoons were tame back in the day, 80s. Like nobody died.
Yeah.
There were no consequences at
Right.
the end of the show, whatever. So when he finally got his chance after Dexter's Laboratory kind of kicked off.
Oh, he made Dexter's Laboratory?
Yeah,
What?
it's the
Dexter
same-
was the shit, dude.
Yeah.
That was my cartoon, man.
Yep. When he did that and he got the green light for Samurai Jack, he just made it. This is going to be nothing but action. Boom. And the first episode, you could see it. It was like all that pent up shit coming to the forefront. It was awesome.
That's
But no,
dope.
he's
Who made Dragon Ball?
Dragon Ball. Oh fuck, I forget his name. It was
Do you
something.
know who made Dragon Ball, Dom?
He died recently too. But Dragon Ball's been around since God.
90s, isn't it?
I want to say 80s.
What?
Yeah, the first series.
Dragon Ball. Yeah.
That
I'm
was
looking it up right now. 84.
1984.
That was the regular Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball was 84 to 95. Dude, OG Dragon Ball was risque.
Yeah.
Very risque.
Yeah, there was a
There
lot
was
of
there was some questionable shit in there for a fucking child, bro.
Yeah, there's another series I watched. I still have the DVD of. I think is awesome. Is Crying Freeman, the first series.
I'm trying to find the dude who made that though.
Yeah, Crying Freeman was just out of left field, but that is just Japanese pulp. But I also liked reading manga too, like the straight up Japanese manga.
Those are the backwards books?
Well, backwards to you, yes.
I know. So hold on. Explain to me, why is it backwards?
So-
okay, why is it whatever? Okay, why do they?
So you know how Arabic writing is from left to right.
No,
Yes, it is. When you write your thing, you're writing this way.
that's Arabic writing.
Arabic writing, that's our writing, our
Okay.
Arabic style letters. It's actually Roman letters, but we write it the Arabic style.
Okay.
The Asian style starts from the right and goes to the left.
Uh-huh.
So it starts on this side of the page and goes that.
They all do that.
Japanese, Chinese, Koreans did not. Koreans invented Hangul a little bit later.
Uh-huh.
But before Koreans invented Hangul, they had to rely on the Chinese characters in the writing system, and a lot of Korean writing was in Chinese characters. But yeah, that's why.
Akira Toriyama.
Toriyama.
Akira Toriyama was the influential
Yeah.
Japanese manga artist who created Dragon Ball series. He died at age 68 in 2024.
Yeah.
Is that right? I don't know.
Something like that. He was fucking huge, though.
Yeah, 2024. Damn, they said he was the greatest, most influential author in the history of manga and created numerous highly influential and popular series, with his most famous being Dragon Ball. What else did he? What else did he fucking die from? Or what else did he create? Oh, Dr. Slump,
Yep.
Chrono Trigger,
Chrono Trigger is huge.
Dragon Quest.
Yep.
You be watching this shit too?
No, but I know about him.
Man, I need to get into anime because I think anime's dope. I want to go to one of those. I just always been just a Dragon Ball though.
Yeah.
Like that's all I was really into. And I remember the books. I thought they were cool. I just never fucking
Yeah.
devoted time to reading them. But and I remember there was a couple of other weird like no, I guess weird.
Hentai.
Not to offend you or anything.
Hentai.
But it's like, yeah, it's just I don't know, it just wasn't really my thing on some of them that I came across. You know what I mean?
It
So-
gets weird in Japan.
but I
I'm
say
not
that,
gonna
but yet I
lie.
was watching Sailor Moon as a kid. Like
Yeah.
a fucking weirdo.
That's not even weird, though. That's just
This is a
girls'
girl's cartoon.
cartoon,
What the
yeah.
fuck was I thinking, bro? Oh, shit.
bad thoughts, probably. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. I was probably a little kid.
The Sailor
I actually
Moon.
thought it was a good series. I don't remember much of it, but I remember watching that. I remember watching Dragon Ball, and there was another one that I watched though that I thought was anime, but apparently there's different distinctions of it. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it's called, but maybe it'll come to me later on.
I think Avatar: The Last Airbender was a huge.
Oh, the
influence on
Airbender.
it.
Yeah, I never.
That's Nickelodeon. That was not anime though.
Yeah, my buddy Kondo likes that one. He tells me about that all the time. But
It's actually a good series. And I watched it when my kids were coming up, and I was like, the kids were into it. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And it held my attention as an
Right.
adult. So
I know
yeah.
that's what I'm wondering because when did that hit? Like when did you first started seeing that? How old were you?
I was about 15 when I saw Akira. I shouldn't have. It was rated R.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
Akira?
Yeah, it fucked with your psyche.
Really?
Yeah, the first scene is
it was rated R and it was an anime.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's a movie. You gotta watch.
Yeah, it is a movie. You got to watch it.
Really? I'm gonna have to fucking write that shit down.
Well, yeah. I
How do
mean,
you
if
spell it? How do you spell that shit? Akira.
just like that, Akira.
Akira.
But I also got into Akira Kurosawa films, which are all the samurai epics that he did. I still have a bunch of his Criterion DVDs. They're all black and white, except Ran. Ran was in 1989, I believe.
Is Akira in black and white?
Akira's not in black and white.
Oh,
That's
okay,
color.
good.
That's a cartoon. Like the samurai epics are filmed in black and white.
Oh, okay.
Like that's Toshiro Mifune. He played a lot of the characters in Akira Kurosawa films.
I think what got me onto Asian culture, bro, that just like played a big impact was Spike TV.
Oh yeah.
All the kung fu movies, bro, that would come out. Jackie Chan, the Bronx. What was it called? The Rumble in the Bronx.
I actually saw that in theaters.
Dude, man, Jackie
And
Chan
we
was
were laughing because we grew up in Seattle area, and they said Rumble in the Bronx, but it was not filmed in New York.
Oh, it wasn't?
If you look at the background shots, there's mountains in the background. And I'm like,
I haven't seen it in so
wait a
long.
minute. That looks like Whistler. Whistler's up in Canada. It's BC. We go there. We used to go there all the time as kids.
Why did they film there, I wonder?
He could not get the insurance covered to film because he does his own stunts. The U.S. companies are like, we're not going to insure him if he does his own stunts. He can't do his own stunts in this country.
That's what made it cool as fuck, man.
Yeah, he broke his fucking leg filming it. If you watch the end credits of that movie.
Hey, do you think it's true they said he broke every bone in his body?
Oh, yeah, easily.
Oh, my God. Bro, do you remember Jackie Chan growing up, dude? And Bruce Lee?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck. What was that one Bruce Lee one, the famous one? He had the scratch...
That's Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon. Yeah, that one was fucking... That was... Oh, man,
That's
dude.
the blueprint for every martial arts film ever.
That one buff Asian dude in there just died recently, actually.
Yeah, he was
I can't remember
pretty
his
cool.
name. Yeah.
He was one of Bruce Lee's best friends. I worked with a cat whose father-in-law trained with Bruce Lee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think one of my in-laws, their kids, he's a stepdad. His dad trained Bruce Lee too. So Seattle was a pretty big area for Bruce Lee people.
Really?
Yeah, he trained that scene in what was it? Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. I don't know if you watched that film with I forget the guy's name. But
Is that the guy that's playing Bruce Lee?
yeah, the guy playing
Yeah,
Bruce
I've
Lee.
seen that one.
That scene where he's on the college campus where the guys are being all dicks.
Yeah. I remember that.
That supposedly happened on the UW campus. So, but UW didn't give him permission to use the UW name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't want to be associated with racism. It's
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, but if it happened, it happened. No
happened.
one's saying it's the college. It's just saying an incident that occurred on the campus that
and
was
then
part of his life
in
story.
the 60s too.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you're not. There was none of that.
This isn't a surprise.
Yeah,
Right.
there's none of that surprise there. It's
Yeah.
like people treated Asians really harshly out on the West Coast too. It's like,
Yeah, everybody went through it, man. Fucking sucks. And dude, like the prominent figure he is in martial arts, man. Like, just what he did for it was incredible, dude. Him, combining everything together and also teaching non-Asians.
Yeah.
Or I guess for him, non-Chinese.
it got him in trouble.
Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, didn't they say like that's why he left China, ain't it? Because he was getting into trouble over there and stuff like that. I think that originally he was getting in trouble over there, right? With like, was it gangs or stuff like that? Or
I don't remember. I don't know the story about how he came here. I know
I'm just going off what I
thought
remember
he
in the
was
movie.
born here though.
No, but I think he
lived in Hong Kong. for a
Yeah,
long
he
time.
went to, and then his father sent him to America because something was going on.
Yeah,
but
something was
what do
going
you think about the whole deal with the whole him dying and then his son dying and all that? You think
The
that's-
conspiracies.
Mhm.
There's a lot of it. I don't know.
That one, how his son died was kind of odd.
It is, and they're still talking about that accident. It wasn't really an accident, but then again, you learn those type of incidents do happen on movie sets a lot. Thanks to
look what
Alec
happened.
Baldwin.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin. Yeah.
He should be in jail.
Fuck, dude. I know. I didn't get to
I
read
don't
every detail of what happened with that.
He intended to kill her or anything.
No, I don't think he intended.
I do believe he should go to jail for negligent homicide because it was an accident that he caused through his actions.
Just goes to show it's not about who you are. It's not about what you did. It's about who you are.
How much money you can throw at
the
the problem, maybe? Yeah, probably. But that's the justice system for you.
That's horrible.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
There's lots of people that are in jail that probably shouldn't be. But
oh, yeah. Yeah. But nah, dude. Yeah, I just remember growing up on the... And you remember that one... What was that one show that used to come on? Dom at Night, where it used to be funny as hell, the commentators. And they used to make them do challenges and shit.
Yeah, I forgot what it was called.
Bro, that shit had me dying. I don't know. I always like the movies, the music, the traditional, like the culture, you know? Just everything, man. I don't know what it was about it, you know? Just, I don't know. Asians, they got like their own like thing going on. They kind of stick together, tight knit community, you know?
for the most part.
Beautiful art and culture that they have. I know that they're just like everybody else, you know, I get that. But, you know, I don't know. It's just like, even growing up in high school, I remember like a lot of the Vietnamese, like they would like stick together and, you know, have businesses and shit. And 6 of them used to live in the same house and shit. So, save up to buy fucking 3 more houses, bro. That's how it should be, dude. I'm trying to buy a compound, bro.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell my brothers, hey, man, I'm done with this whole you buy your house, man. Let's all fucking just take the fucking Mexican and fucking Asian route and just let's all buy a big house and let's all live in it together, man.
So a lot of that is, I hate to say it, is because of racism. Because when the Korean community and the Vietnamese community first landed in Washington State and in other places, a lot of them used to be legitimate business people before they came here. And then they had to leave everything because they were refugees. I know what that's like. I'm a refugee too.
You're a Washington refugee?
Left Coast refugee is what I call them myself. But what they did is they got together in the community and, you know, prominent person who's like, hey, why don't you start your laundromat up or start your restaurant up again? It's like, okay, I'll go to the bank and I'll try to get a loan so I can start this business. And the banks would be like, who are you? You just came here. You don't have any assets or anything. No, I'm not going to loan to you. Fuck you. So they go back to the community and say, this is what happened. So it's like, well, so-and-so is working at the chicken place. You know, he's got a little bit of money. He's going to throw in a couple grand. We're going to throw a couple grand together. We're going to front you this money. You got to pay it back, but we're going to front you the money. You start your business. And that's how that community grew.
Right.
Because they banded together and they pooled their money and they
kind of like a lot of other races too. I feel like too.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. A lot
most
of them,
definitely. But
Italians,
they did
Irish
a lot.
people.
They did
Jews.
They did it efficiently, and they still do it to this day.
Yeah.
Like my mother-in-law still like. I don't think she still owes somebody, but she had a hotel, so she didn't get that money. You know, going to the bank.
Yeah.
When I say a hotel, I'm not talking about like the Grand Budapest. I'm talking about a motel somewhere on the side of the road.
Really?
Yeah.
But
it was a business. It pulls in money, and you need to have some English skills.
Where's your mother-in-law from?
She's from South Korea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you been over there?
No.
Oh.
I kind of want to go over there.
Where have you? Have you been to any Asian countries?
Nope.
Really?
I've been on the West Coast. That's about as far as west I've gone.
I always wanted to go
Touched around Vancouver Island.
I always wanted to go to Chinatown in California.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of dope.
Yeah, that would be a fun place to go.
Yeah.
I'd like to visit New York's Chinatown.
Oh, they have a Chinatown as well?
Oh, yeah. They have a huge Chinatown.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Chicago's Chinatown was pretty cool.
Oh, you been there?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, Chicago probably could fall off the map, in my opinion.
Except for Chinatown.
Except for their Chinatown. I don't have a beef with the people of Chicago. I have the beef with the people running the whole entire state.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's a fucking mess over there, dude. I thought our gun fucking homicide rates were bad. They're in the 600-700s a year.
It is ridiculous. It is. There's some places.
We're like at 100 and... I think we're at like 112 right now or some shit.
I forget what they called it when I was over there. They called it Chirac.
Yeah, Chirac.
Chirac.
Chirac. And it's a gun-free, heavily gun-regulated city.
Oh man, if I was caught carrying in Illinois, they would throw me under the jail.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
It's crazy.
Gun policies hurt more of the actual law-abiding citizens than criminals. Criminals are going to figure out a way how to break crime no matter what. You can enact all the policies all you want. You can enforce them all you want. Actually, you don't really enforce them. We just seen a lady get stabbed, and dude had 14 fucking prior accounts.
I want to say that's the exception to the norm, but no, there's guys on the West Coast. There was a guy.
There's tons of them.
There was a guy they actually filmed him doing it.
Some just don't make mainstream news. You know?
Well, there was a guy they actually filmed doing it. This guy fucking wigged out, and he was trying to throw some old lady in a wheelchair off an overpass.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, I think he had like 6 or 7 felony convictions, and he was got another court date for something else before they finally picked him up. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, this is why I teach my daughters, man. It's like you have to be situationally aware.
Self-awareness. I would never have sat in that seat behind that dude. Any dude. I don't give a fuck. White, black, orange, purple. No, I sat in the back of the bus.
Sit with your back against anybody, man. And everyone's like, why would you want to live in a world like that? Motherfucker, that's the world, okay? That's the world. What can you do? You have to be safe, okay? Sit to your back somewhere else. If you got to stand, whatever it is you got to do, you need to have something on. You need to have mace. You need to have a gun. You need to have something to be able to protect yourself. And you need to be watching.
Yeah.
Don't worry about someone thinking you're racist or whatever it may be because you're watching your surroundings. Your whole goal is to be alive. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I've had friends.
Be alive.
I've had friends who got knocked over because they were on their fucking phone.
I know.
Headphones in, not paying attention. The last place you need to be not paying attention is on a bus. Yeah. I don't care who you are. I don't care. I don't care. They say, oh, public transportation is the end all be all. It is not. You're getting people who lost their license. You're getting the guys that, they can't afford a car and they're trying to get to work. You're getting those guys too. And hats off to them. They have to fucking ride public transport.
You got them, but you also got the crazies.
But you also got the homeless people coming in. You got the guys that just got out of the fucking clinic that just...
That's the issues we're having here with the metro. That's why they stopped running it up north.
Looking all crazy and shit, And I don't knock them for doing it, but I knock them because if they're gonna get in my face and make me have a problem with them, that's when I get upset. If they leave me alone, I leave them alone. Yeah, it's like treat me like a beast.
But some don't, dude. When I come out of my gym, sometimes I had one literally threatening a bunch of us, which is crazy because you're threatening a bunch of dudes coming out of a fucking martial arts gym. But no one's going to do anything because we don't know what the fuck. I mean, if we had to, but nobody wants to fight a fucking crazy, deranged homeless man. I mean, I don't know if he has a needle or a knife or
they got everything.
Everything on him. Fuck that. And he's talking about killing people and shit, screaming it, walking down the Dollar Tree fucking parking lot. It's fucking crazy. But
I did a ride along with Seattle PD once because I thought I was going to become a Seattle PD. Thank God I did not.
Yeah.
I was like, it was in my early 20s. I was just thinking about it.
Don't get paid enough for the bullshit.
Suddenly, I just had a change of heart because the first call, they were picking up some tweaker. And this was in the early 2000s. This was before it got bad in the suburbs. And they were picking up some tweaker and it's like, the first question he asked this lady after, he got her cuffed and stuff is like, you got any needles on? He's like, oh, I got one in my pocket. And then, he kind of finds the needle. And then it's like, you sure you only got one? And she's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then he goes and he turns the pockets out. Sure enough, there's 5 needles in her pocket. And then he looks in the lady's purse. Lady's purse had fucking needles all over in there. Really? And I'm like, is this common? It's like, yeah, usually when you find one needle, you find 10. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, fuck that. You don't know if they're used or not.
They're probably used. She looked hard.
Yeah. It's not good, man. It's not good. Well, at least you're out of there, man. I'm not saying it's any better here in Kansas City. As you're starting to see, it's kind of
there's areas. I'm not at that point yet where I'm like, this is bad. I'm like, oh, okay. I know it's coming. Mm-hmm. What your listeners and everybody should know is you guys need to prepare because it's coming. You guys.
So if you were to compare the stage we're at now, you lived in Washington, where at?
Bonnie Lake.
How long did you live there?
Oh, about 10 years. Before that, I lived in Algona, Washington for a couple of years, and then I grew up in the Auburn area since I was born.
Okay, so you know Washington. The stage that we're in now.
You're right now.
How long before when you're at the stage of where Washington is now?
So
we're at the stage.
You're at right now. If I were to guess, you're at 2008, 2009. Oh. You're starting to see people on the side of the road with signs. You're starting to see people in their sections with signs, just holding them up, in some of the areas.
Dude, we got full on camps, bro.
I know you got camps, but you don't have the camps yet.
Yeah, like the California, Washington camps. Yeah,
you don't have
hundreds of people. Yeah,
you don't have 100-person camp. You don't have people scrounging 2x4s in pallets and making 2-story pallet palaces in the middle of that camp and nobody moving them out. You don't have people stealing pools from Walmart and making makeshift hot tubs in the middle of the camp.
A homeless hot tub.
Yep.
Oh, really? That's creative.
You haven't lived until you've seen a 68-year-old woman wash herself with the hand sanitizer at a porta potty.
Oh, shit.
At 5 a.m. on a Friday.
I do not want to see that.
No, you don't.
I did watch a naked, homeless, drugged out lady on, I'm pretty sure that was on like 30-something in Prospect, just twerk out in the middle of the street. And it was like a fucking 11 a.m. on a Monday.
Yeah, they were doing the meth shake, or is it the fentanyl crawl?
I don't know. I didn't even know what those are.
Oh, God.
What the fuck? The fentanyl crawl?
So, all right.
I've seen them when they're all slumped and shit.
So the fentanyl crawl is this, like, in the camps and in Washington State, you usually have your quote unquote pharmacist come to the camp and dispense their medication, the fentanyl. And
the city's giving them drugs?
No.
Oh.
I call pharmacist. He's the drug dealer. He's the local dealer.
Okay.
He comes in, he gets his...
Because I know in some states, the cities are providing like needles and stuff like that.
Yeah, so. I think there's a needle exchange. I don't know if there is one in Seattle. It doesn't really do
There's one in like California or somewhere where I was seeing where they show up in a fucking van.
Yeah. Yeah, and they come in... They're Thursday, Friday night or whatever, and they give the medication out because they know it's only so long until they can scrounge enough more money to buy their next fix. They get their medication, they quote unquote take it, and they have their good time party, and then the next morning when you're driving into work, you see them in the middle of the crosswalk, face down or face up. They're trying to cross the crosswalk, but they're laying face down, and they can't move except all they can move is their fingers. So all you see is their fingers moving, and they're slowly inching themselves across the street.
Fuck, dude.
Because that's what fentanyl does. It just makes everything slow.
You remember we were talking about the opium wars?
Yeah.
And it was crazy when you were explaining some of that to me. It's like, oh shit. So it's almost like as if China's kind of getting their revenge for the opium wars a bit.
Yeah, most of the times.
Yeah.
But
like, ain't it? Because like the way you said how they had opium being it drove into their country and was fucking up all their citizens in China.
Yep. And
from all these, I don't know what other countries. I can't remember the countries you were telling me.
It was France and Britain.
Yeah. And then
mostly Great Britain.
Yeah, and then now we're like, fuck you, China, for bringing fentanyl in. It's like, well, damn, it's almost like history repeating itself
pretty
again.
Pretty much.
Not saying that I want it to happen, but damn, it's almost like it just cycles and repeats.
Well, that, and we also have to deal with the South American shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, South America is technically an American continent. Mm-hmm. Technically, I don't say it. We possess it or whatever. It's under our sphere of influence. We have the Monroe Doctrine to thank for that, because we don't let anybody else try to interfere in South America except for us. We can interfere all we want.
Right.
Because we're the United States.
How long did the opium wars go on for?
I think it was about 50, 60 years.
Really?
They were still...
Around what era was that?
It was in the 1850s.
Really?
Actually, it started in the 1700s. Don't quote me on that. I don't have history.
No, I don't.
I think it started when Britain and France started to establish spheres of influences and hegemony instead of colonies, because it was way cheaper to have that than to send in their British Marines and conquer a nation and make them a colony. Because if you're a colony, you get taken care of. Australia was a colony. They sent supplies and support to them. If you have a sphere of influence or hegemony, that's all you do is you send companies in and they drain the place dry. because they're allowed to do business in there, and no one else is.
But what was their reason for wanting to push all that opium into China?
Because
just money,
growing, money, and also to establish
rot out
break the freaking Chinese monarchy.
Yeah, and that way you don't even have to step, like you said, you don't have to step in there, and nobody on your side has to die. You almost rot it out from the inside out.
Well,
shit, that's kind of what they're trying to do in America, right? And who knows who's all involved here? Some blame the CIA, some blame other countries, some blame both. You know, it's a money grab, and you're collapsing an economy or a country from the inside.
Well, you know, if we can get together and figure out a good solution how to combat the problem instead of just declaring a war on drugs and declaring everything illegal, you could probably come up with something sensible. Amsterdam, for all its faults, for all its moral depravity, they have the drug thing figured out. If you're on drugs, you can have drugs. It doesn't matter if
decriminalize it. Yeah,
they decriminalized it. They actually have, you know, hospital ships in the harbor where the druggies live, and they get their dose, and some of them actually still can maintain. They're like functioning alcoholics. They can get their fix and go and do their business, and then come back, you know, sleep on their little place where they're sleeping and take their drugs, and then get up and do it all over again.
Yeah, but I don't think that's good either. You know, I'm all for people using drugs. I'm fine, but you need to use them in moderation. And some of them are just bad.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if I could, like Dr. Carl Hart was on Rogan a long time ago. I remember listening to him, and he does heroin and stuff like that. And he's like a fucking doctor in
psychology.
Yeah, some shit. And he says he's fine. Now, granted, this is his testimony.
Yeah.
Looks fine. I don't know. I mean, I do know people that use harder drugs that are functioning and fine and have lucrative jobs, but
I've never met a fine heroin addict.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I haven't. Or a meth addict. I haven't.
No.
Cocaine, yeah. Weed, yeah. But alcohol, yeah.
I only trust
pills, yeah.
Coke guys as far as I could see them, because they just do some crazy ass shit.
Dude, in the 80s, everybody's doing Coke, man.
Shit, yeah. But no, the meth guys.
That was a class higher class drug, like all the lawyers and the doctors and the businessmen.
Well, you had to have money to do it.
Yeah.
That's why crack became so prevalent.
Yeah.
But it burned out quick because it killed a lot of people. And that's what fentanyl should have done, because fentanyl will kill you so quick.
Hunter's still going strong on the crack.
Yeah.
He fucking Hunter fucking Biden or whatever his name is.
Thought he was in rehab. I don't know.
Dude, he was actually kind of a cool guy in that fucking podcast that I heard.
Honestly,
he was talking about crack like it was fucking, I don't know, like steak, like a steak dinner.
Honestly, but yeah, meth heads are the worst though. They'll strip the wiring out of your house.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a bad one, dude. But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know the fix. You know, I understand everyone's concern of just making it all legal. That's where I tend to float, just because I think adults should be able to do and make decisions wherever they want. I don't want to see heroin stores on the fucking corner of every street. But I also know that the war on drugs isn't working.
We failed it. We lost the war on drugs.
I know, but we've seen them trying to do these wars. We've seen it on alcohol with prohibition. Yep. It just doesn't work. Nope. You know, it does not work. It creates more problems than what it solves. You create these big organized gangs. You know, you got the mafia during prohibition, and now you got the freaking narcos in the drug war. You know, it's like, what are we doing here?
Well,
you know? It's not working. So why are we continuing to? And now we're just blowing up fucking boats that we think are fucking traffickers. That some are debating. I've heard some say they're not. Why would you have 11 people on a boat trafficking drugs? You want to be able to have the most amount of space possible for the drugs. So you probably have maybe one or two. 11 might be people actually trying to smuggle human beings over. So you just possibly blew up a boat full of fucking people.
Yeah.
And that's it. And we have no idea. Did they go pick up all the remains from?
Probably not.
Yeah. And then they just blew up another one yesterday or today.
They need to take a pragmatic approach to it. That's the thing. The problem is sometimes the pragmatic approach looks ugly. They don't want to see people die of overdosing. They don't want to see their addicts dying of overdosing. They want to save everybody. The truth is like
If you're going to take the drug, though, that's the risk that comes with it.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be saving anybody on that. I understand. I understand addictive personalities, and I understand the whole thought of like, some people get lost and they're not able, and they need help and blah, blah. I get that. But that needs to be then on their family and not on the government's, not on our dime, not with the government involved, because it's not, they're not really fixing it. And from what I know a lot of people that are stuck on drugs. There's no talking. Surely some.
Some
can't
people
talk for
say
all.
they can change, but
some people can't. But I have not seen a good track record of dudes that I know that are abusing drugs, and in trying to get them to stop and begging them to stop and seeing their families beg them to stop, and they don't. They still do it. There's
a lot of people that everybody has like if you're going to the 12-step program, everybody has to hit that rock bottom. Right. What that rock bottom is, that's up to you.
Rock bottom could be no coming back though.
Yeah, that's it. Rock bottom is no pulse.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's why I say it's pragmatic. Pragmatic is often ugly, because you can't just make things illegal and expect things to go away, because that's not how it works.
No, it's like trying to fight ideologies. It's like when the right tries to fight the left. You can't stop an ideology.
No,
you can.
Well, you can. You can do it the Genghis Khan method, but
yeah. Good luck. I mean,
I'm waiting for that, because then if the environmentalists have any say in it, that's how the environment improved after Genghis Khan conquered, killed all those people, because the Earth actually cooled because there was less people fucking it up.
God damn, dude, Andy's going the fucking Thanos right here, just fucking one snap, bro, and just half the population's gone.
I'm not saying half, but
I don't know, man. You can't. You guys got to. We all got to figure out and just let people live, man. And ultimately, when you do that, when you allow people to live independently and live free, there's consequences to that. So you have to get ready for that. You can't nerf the world. This false sense of safety doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't. You can only make it kind of safe.
No, because this is what happens. Like, for instance, guns, which I want to talk about this lower that you have here in front of me. It's like with guns. You can keep enacting these policies, and I know that the big boogeyman of all these guns is the assault rifle, which, one, we should break it down. AR doesn't stand for assault rifle. It stands for armor light rifle. Also, two, it's not a big scary gun. It's not a gun of war. The Army doesn't use an AR-15, okay? So this whole perception of, if we take this rifle away, somehow things are going to decrease. For one, ARs aren't used in very low. I think it's like 0.00 something percent.
I don't know what the thing is. I think it's gone up a little bit since,
it's fucking low. I guarantee
a couple more mass shooters kind of added to the percentage, but it's not.
Yeah, but mass shootings is low. Do you know what makes up over half of gun deaths?
It's suicide.
Yeah, suicides. So then what? What are we going to do? And then what's the most common gun that's used in a lot of these these deaths by firearms is a pistol.
Yep.
So we go after the ARs. Then we see years go by, let's say a decade goes by. Well, we kind of stopped it. Somehow some dude with the Bridgeport and the CNCs making them underground. Then you start seeing these fucking underground CNC shops start popping up, and they're making ARs illegally and fucking selling them, making hella money. No, hold on. But then that may stop it a bit for a little bit. And then, the black market catches up, and then we're in the same boat. And okay, we got to go after pistols now. Let's go after pistols. We can't have these high magazines for these pistols. And then now we can't have pistols at all. We only need to have one-shot pistols, or we only need one-shot bolt-action rifles. It keeps going. Like you said, they move the goalpost, goalpost. And then at some point, you're going to find yourself in a country, and everybody likes to roll their eyes as if this can't happen. Go look around in other parts of the earth, other parts of the world. Then you have no guns. And then it's easy because the government can now govern without fear. Not saying they don't govern without fear now, because they kind of don't. And we've allowed that, how soft we've become, including myself, as a nation, as people. But could you imagine if they didn't have that in the back of their head, that there's more guns than people in the United States? Like, that still kind of checks you a little bit.
Yeah.
A bit.
somewhat, but then you have the Gaddafi situation where Gaddafi was always paranoid of his own people, and eventually his own people did tear him
brutally
apart.
fucking kill him.
Tear him apart in the street. But the thing about firearms
Thanks
is
to
like
Obama.
firearms is a technology, and the technology is already out of the bag.
Yeah.
You're not going to get rid of guns. There's no way, especially now with quote unquote additive manufacturing. I don't know if
What is that?
3D printing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, anybody can have a 3D printer in there.
There's going to be 3D printed, there's going to be metal 3D printers, and the prices will keep coming down on them, and you're going to be able to print whatever the F you want.
Hell
and it's
yeah.
not going to change anything.
I
think the only thing that's going to affect firearms is the development of energy-based weapons.
Oh.
And then what are you going to do? Ban transistors, printed circuit boards? You're ban freaking copper wiring?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't stop.
So yeah, there's no getting around it.
And then it's fucking Nepal.
I want to get to the point where, you know, the technology, like guns are like an antique, and like people are using something else. And then what are you going to do?
Yeah, because I've heard of energy weapons already. I've heard of those sound weapons that they have that other countries have. I've heard even conspiracy that they've even shot them out of their countries. Those sound weapons.
Oh yeah. But no, if you looked at the boat footage of that one where they wasted all those.
Oh, the 11 people. The one we were just talking about.
A lot of the experts are saying it's not a missile. They're saying that was a high focus laser on the gas tank.
That's crazy.
There's no way to trace it.
Nope.
There's no munition to trace. Oh, his
I'd
gas tank.
I'd have to relook at that video.
You have to
relook. And who
it.
knows? Maybe the AI generated a missile coming in on there.
And maybe now. I don't know.
Hey, dude, who knows? AI's getting fucking weird, man.
They might show the video of the second one too, but it seems pretty tame compared to what you're usually seeing. Usually you see that Apache camera with the freaking Bushmaster just folding people.
It's just hard, dude, especially with the AI. I mean, even everybody, all these people talking about like, with the Charlie Kirk shooter, that doesn't look like him. They have the side-by-sides. It's like, yeah, well, they're using AI technology to
I still haven't
repixelize.
seen that footage. And I'm still like, they're all saying it might be a conspiracy, but I'm like, okay, let's.
You haven't seen that? Dude, we got to watch that footage.
I have not seen it.
Dude, we got to watch. At least, I'm going to show you at least. Hold on. First, show me what's going on. Dom, while I'm trying to pull this up, focus on this. What do we got here?
Okay, so this is an AR-15 low receiver that I purchased many moons ago, and I regret the purchase because they fucked it up. How do they fucked it up? Well, it's a functional receiver. I could probably build a rifle. It'd look a little derpy, but they fucked up the front lugs. And it's a common thing I saw when I was working at Aero Precision. Not common at Aero Precision, but I've common among the industry. Like pretty much a lot of these receivers are made the same way. They're loaded into a CNC machine. Mm-hmm. If they're loaded wrong at all, it becomes a paperweight. You can see it. Look at the front lugs. Front lugs. Sure. There you go. The front two holes where your fingers are.
Oh, okay. I see it.
Right there. You're actually that one right there. So these two front lugs, you see how high those holes are sitting up there? So those are supposed to be more centered.
These are?
Yep. They're supposed to be more centered and lower down. There's a certain, you're supposed to have it centered to these, the front lug right there.
Oh, okay.
So you once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Huh.
So there's I had the technical drawing when I was working for him, and I knew the distance from that hole to the.
Like how it says pew, 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 no pew.
Yeah, I thought it was cute.
Yeah, that was funny.
But yeah.
But we do not have the pew, pew, pew. We only have the pew and no pew.
I have nothing in there. So this is technically a paperweight, and it's probably always going to be a paperweight.
Because you used to work in that, right?
Yeah. So these are what you typically refer to in the white. This is not finished yet. Mm-hmm. Because it needs to have a Parkerization or whatever, and then you have to throw the guts in there to make it work.
Right. Is that considered? That's not considered an 80, right?
No, this is not a polymer. This is considered a firearm.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
this is actually registered. I had to fill paperwork out for this shit and all that stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah. When you buy a low receiver, it's like buying a long
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's no back door.
I guess I'm used to private sales, allegedly.
Private sales?
Yeah.
No, there's no. Unless you're buying it from a private seller, there's always paperwork involved when you're buying one of these.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, I'm probably never going to build this out because of that issue, because it's going to make what I call a derpy rifle. It's going to sit lower and the parts are going to wear faster together. It'll function. If I really need to, I could do it, but I'm not hurting for firearms. So
right.
It's like, so I keep it as a lesson of.
I thought you lost all of them in a boating accident.
Allegedly. I mean, if the ATF's listening, don't shoot my dog. Fuck.
Yeah, please don't. It might have tannerite in it, so don't shoot it. How long did you work in a gun shop?
I only worked there for about 1.5 years.
Really? But did you like it?
Oh, yeah. It was the best time of life.
Really?
You get to play with gun parts every day. You talk with like-minded individuals, people that love, the stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
That's
one thing I have a hard time connecting with some of the stuff I make. It's just like, I don't know.
You're never going to use this stuff.
Yeah, you're never going to use it. You never end up seeing where it goes. It's kind of like, eh.
Well, the thing about it is like you're getting a lot of different types of people in that shop. Everybody in the shop where I was working at, when we were working in the gun shop or in the gun factory, everybody was all about guns.
Right.
There was no getting around it. You always had the conversation about it. It got to be like we're talking about breakfast. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I kind of miss it. I wish they'd have an industry like that move out to Kansas City. I'd apply for them in a heartbeat. Probably be a good asset to them. But unfortunately, I don't see that happening in this area anytime soon. I think the next, basically, gun makers valley is going to be Tennessee and Wyoming. A lot of gun businesses are moving out there.
Are they?
Yeah, Wyoming more importantly, because Wyoming has a good connection to Colorado, where you can get a lot of the electric needs met.
All right, hold on. I got this pulled up here.
All right, let's look at this.
So this is the rooftop video. This is when he shot, and then he ran to jump off the roof. All right. So here
it looks like a little better video.
You see him right there?
So he's running away. So we didn't see him after the shoot.
No, I have the video after the shoot, but this is the one I want to see. It's hard because it's really pixelated. But see what he has in his hand?
I think he has like a bag or something.
Yeah. Does it look like a bag or a towel over a rifle?
It could be that too.
Boom! Fell. Busted his ass too.
Yeah, that's a rifle.
That had to hurt. I bet you felt that in his dick.
So,
you ever jumped off something really tall, dude, and you feel it in your balls?
Yeah, why would he do that?
Sucks.
Although I'm not, I got a lot of questions for the dude. Like, why would he actually try to shoot somebody? But
yeah, but that's beside the point.
Why would you throw yourself off the roof after that and think you're going to run away?
I don't know.
I don't think he was in his right mind when he was doing this.
No, yeah, definitely wasn't in his right mind. I mean, he shot somebody.
So
in front of
he might have had the rifle in pieces.
But do you maybe see a rifle there?
There could be.
Look, boom. He has it. It looks like the towel is somehow. It's not.
He's carrying a gun.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Because I thought the whole story was he broke down the rifle, then set it up while he was on the roof, which, if anybody knows, is gonna mess with the accuracy of that rifle, of you breaking down the scope, barrel, stock.
So did anybody see him carrying the gun in?
Well, that's the thing, is there's not enough out yet video wise. It's like you see him walking up a stairs only, then you see the shot. And then you see, like, there was this video. I don't know if you remember this video. Oh, it's not playing. It's not playing. Hold on. Mute that real quick. Oh, this one's not going to play. I'm on X right now. This is probably the only...
The only place where they have it?
Yeah, where you can just actually fucking see, like, decent video. But, like, if you watch it, where's it at? Here was the rifle. I showed you the rifle though, didn't I?
Yeah, the Mauser.
Yeah. So you see that.
I can't tell if it's a Mauser or not.
Well, they said it was a Mauser. I think they've confirmed that.
If they confirmed it was a Mauser brand or just a Mauser action, because they're two different animals.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Mauser still makes bolt action rifles. But there's a Mauser action, which is made by just about everybody who makes a bolt gun.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of crazy conspiracies talking about the bodyguards doing hand signals and having palm guns. I don't know. I looked at those because I always try to give benefit of the doubt, but I don't see what they're talking about. I think people are stretching.
Honestly, though, like I'd like to know if he actually carried the rifle in because...
Well, that's what I want to know because this dude broke it down. He's like, one, that gun's not going to fit in that fucking bag. Okay.
Well, the other thing is like, could it be possible if this guy was in the area before that he stashed it the day before and nobody found the rifle and he just went up to the roof where he hid his rifle and then fucking did the deed? And then he tried to run with the rifle, which I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. I would have just left it there, but I am not a cold-blooded killer. So.
It sounds like he didn't. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't, definitely wasn't a professional or anything, which I was surprised by actually him hitting that shot. I know a lot of people think that's an easy shot, but I feel like for a dude who doesn't shoot that much, 200 yards is pretty far.
You shoot high-powered rifles a lot?
No, not a lot. Maybe
I'll take you to the
couple
range.
of times a year.
I'll take you to the range with my Enfield. I'll put that Enfield in your hand. You'll be hitting.
I know, but I've shot for years. You're talking about a kid that was a video gamer. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but
how many times? I guess maybe his dad. I don't know. I don't know the whole backstory. Maybe their dad. Maybe they weren't. I know he said that. I think that rifle was possibly given to him as a gift or something like that. So maybe he does come from a background from shooting. So I could see that. But at first we were given this narrative of, it was just some left-wing fucking nut. Well, how many left-wing nuts are out there shooting at fucking gun ranges? You know what I mean?
A lot of them.
So? Well, I see now it's becoming more popular. Yeah, I'll give that. Yeah. But I don't know. I just, 200 yards away, and I talked to you about this. 200 yards away at a range is one thing. Okay, little paper you're shooting at down, you can relax and blah, blah, blah. You're laying down prone. I don't know what he's resting on. I guess that shitty backpack, which... and then not only that, you're about to shoot one of the largest conservative speaker, political, debater, in our time. I mean, he's fucking huge, man.
Yeah.
This guy's very well known, very popular, and you're going to try to end his life in front of hundreds of people. You don't think his adrenaline was just...
No, I'm pretty sure he had a lot.
Yeah, so to get that shot off, I'm
fairly certain that he was probably aiming for the head and he just missed.
That's what I keep hearing right now. I thought he would aim center mass, which would be what I think most people would do. I mean, that's
if
what
you're an amateur,
taught.
you aim for the head.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not even a pro, and I know center mass, but I guess I do follow a lot of people that discuss this.
So that was the thing. It's like I forget. I think James Earl Ray aimed for the head too with his rifle. That was the guy who assassinated Martin Luther King.
And that's what they're saying. If he wasn't considering the downward angle, which I just know from bow hunting, so you understand the drop. But at the same time, it's like he shoots, misses the head, still hits the neck, which is still a fucking crazy shot. But what they think what happened was it's either that or I watched one that said it bounced off the plate. I guess he had a titanium plate on, which I didn't see. I didn't think he had a vest on because I couldn't see it. But I don't keep up with all the new technology when it comes to vests. I guess they have a new one that's a titanium, very thin, and I guess he was only wearing it possibly in the front, which makes sense. I mean, you can kind of see the setup. He's got his security team around him. Which I don't know how they didn't see that guy. I mean, I get it's far away, but
200 yards away, that's like if you're on a
But if you're on a security team, I feel like you're watching rooftops, right?
Somebody should have.
There's like 5 or 6 of them.
But the 2 guys next to him should be checking the crowd.
Right. But there should have been there should have been spotters.
There should have been somebody who spotted him. But that's armchair, quarterbacking. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, hindsight bias. Yeah, I get that. But it's just. Okay, so you have that, and then, just, I don't know, man. Then to take that shot, or he hits the plate, it ricochets off, it hits the neck. That's what they think that happened. So that sounds like a logical,
We'd
conclusion.
Probably honestly, you're gonna have to wait till the coroner says something, if they say anything at all. Like sometimes they keep that shit quiet.
But then I don't know that they released a text between him and his partner, and there's not much information on that. It's like a printout.
Yeah.
No, I don't even think it has timestamps or anything on it. And it talks about him admitting stuff and, but I heard he's not cooperating with police. It's just a bunch of unknowns. You know what I mean? But I honestly don't think we'll ever really know the truth, to be honest. Did we ever really figure out the truth? We still don't know much about who shot at Trump.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of fades away.
That guy died, so there's not much you can get out of him.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
But they honestly
comb through his fucking
to be honest
life.
Though, it's like the law enforcement will probably do their job. They'll probably do a thorough investigation to the best of their abilities. If the problem is they got the guy, so all they're doing now is working towards a conviction. They're not really trying to figure out the whys and stuff of that. They're trying to get the evidence they need to convict him and, hopefully get the maximum sentence that they can get out of him. Whatever that is in the state of Utah, I don't know. I know they do have the death penalty in Utah, but
he's on suicide watch too.
They're all on suicide watch when they're like a high profile guy like that.
Yeah.
I'm not leaning into that. I think the guy was a kook job and he might have been prodded by somebody.
Look, that's the video of him. That's after the shot.
That's after the shot. He's booking off the roof.
Boom. Gets up, takes off.
That's a long ways away.
Yeah, it is. But how did they not see that figure up there? I know he was in the prone position, so it's going to be hard to tell. But damn, you ain't got no security team with binoculars watching roofs.
They probably never occurred to them there'd be a sniper in the crowd. There'd probably be just some whack.
You don't think a dude debating so many people for so many years he's already had plenty of death threats on him.
Yep. Now the people that are in charge of doing security for people like that are probably reevaluating how they're doing their job.
Yeah,
unfortunately, that's a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah, and I thought possibly at the beginning Israel was kind of involved to be like kind of turn him into a martyr to kind of give their side of things, but like to have more backing or more push to be able to go after anti-Semitism. But like now, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I kind of listened to Fuentes talk about that and go back and forth on that, and I'm kind of with him. I don't think that happened. It makes more sense that just some fucking crazy did it. I don't think. I mean, Israel is into some shit. They do some fucking crazy shit, but I just don't see that one. And granted, it's still early.
Like I said, they got to do a full investigation.
They got to do them. Yeah, but we got an FBI. Did the FBI even fucking catch the guy? No. He ended up getting turned in.
Well, that was like in how many hours? It was like 24 hours. That's actually pretty good for law enforcement, to be honest with you.
I don't think it was 24 hours. I think it was 2 days.
2 days, 48. That's actually still pretty good.
But they didn't do anything.
Sometimes they never catch the guy. That's the thing.
Thank God somebody turned him in. The fucking big bad.
I forget what was the statistic like in this country. Like criminals have a 98% chance of getting away with stuff, not getting caught. There's never a time when someone's caught red-handed.
Yeah, well, that's like more reason to support 2A.
Yeah,
that's what I try to explain to people. It's more reason why you need a gun. More reason why you need to train. More reason why you need to fucking watch these things so you're self-aware. It's not to be in a state of fear, constant fear. Honestly, it's the opposite. It's like martial arts. It's like, well, I don't want to go learn how to fight because then I'm always going to be fighting people, or I'm going to be wanting to fight people. It's not. It does the complete opposite. It actually teaches you to control yourself. Now, I'm not the best at control. I lose my temper at times, as you have, as you've seen. But, I have to be really pushed. You know what I mean? And at the same time, it also develops a confidence because I know what I can do. You know what I mean? You come from the same, you do your, the Bushido, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you understand martial arts. You understand practicing and learning these things, incorporating them into your life. It flows into both. It flows into what you're doing martial arts, and it flows into your personal life as well. The confidence, the being around like-minded individuals that kind of bring you up and teach you things, and learning discipline. And these are beautiful things, as well as learning firearms, teaching yourself to, do all that. So I think if more people did that, I think more people would be a lot more, I think a lot more people would be less fearful, not more fearful, embracing it. So
less prone to getting into scrapes and hissy fits. That's for damn sure.
Well, Andy, it was fun, man.
Yeah.
It was fun. I appreciate you coming on, man.
No problem.
I wish we could have got into a little bit more of some things, but I'm trying to keep it around 2 hours, and I think we just about hit it. So
Time flies.
Yeah, time does fly.
Now I got to dodge deer on the way home.
I do want to know though, your favorite gun.
My favorite gun.
Yeah.
So, I have several favorite guns. I do love the Model 29 Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum.
44 Magnum. Yeah.
Not because it's a 44 Magnum. It's because at the time when that was made, that was the most perfect revolver, I think, in my opinion.
Dude, I'm trying to look up that fucking song. What did I tell you that song was? There was a song that I fucking love that I'm just like, dude, I need a 44 Magnum because of this fucking song. You don't remember that country song I was telling you about the other day when I was talking to you at your desk? What's that song called? Fuck. Where's it at? 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 I don't fucking see it. God damn it. Where is it? No. I don't know. There's a country song, but he talks about fucking 44 Magnum.
Yeah.
And ever since I heard that song, I'm like, dude, I need a 44 Magnum. I don't know why. I've Got Rights by Hank Williams Jr. That's a fucking badass song, dude.
Yeah, but I think the old school Smith & Wesson revolvers are probably the best revolvers. Probably.
I know I need to get one.
I have a Model 19 and Model 29.
The one you showed me today was nice.
That SP101, that's a Ruger.
That's fucking beautiful.
That there will outlast your great grandchildren. Because you felt how heavy that is.
Yeah, dude,
it's nothing but.
I just want to be that old man that walks around with it on his hip.
I used to be that old guy.
Yeah, when I get old, I'm gonna open carry.
Yeah,
I don't open carry now because I think it's done.
The problem I think with 357 and 44 Magnum right now is the price of that ammo. Yeah. It's $50 a box.
Oh shit!
Yeah, compared to a 9mm, and it's
they got aluminum rounds.
No,
you ever seen the 9mm? I got some of the aluminum rounds.
Yeah, I got some Blazer too. That's
but like my Glock eats anything, man.
But
except for Hornady. What the fuck, Hornady and your red plastic hollow points? It does not like those.
It didn't like Corbin Powerball, but Powerball, like the shells were just, or the bullet was actually pushing into the case. It was like so loosely crimped.
Really?
I was like, I'm not shooting this stuff. It's like that Corbin Powerball. I still have that box. I'm like, reminding me not to ever buy the specialty rounds for 357 ever again, because lead works just fine too in a 357.
Right. Well, you got anything else you want to talk about?
That's about it.
You good? All right. Well, I'm going to have you on again, Andy. I appreciate it. One last thing, though, I think I want to say, there's other people watching. I think, one, we got to stop fighting because it's retarded. So let's stop. Two, communication fixes a lot of things. So talk to one another, respect one another. Stop trying to vote for people that are trying to enact policies on one another because you believe it's better. Heart goes out to Charlie Kirk and his family. That's fucking sad, dude. It's horrible. Nobody should lose their life. And in anywhere. Palestinians shouldn't be getting blown up. Fucking kids shouldn't be getting shot in school. We know what we need to do. We need to stop funding fucking wars. We need to fucking add security to our fucking schools. You know, there's a lot of measures that we can put in place that will not go against that will not take away our constitutional rights, but that will help. We fucking protect our government buildings, our airports with these things, and we've seen what it can do. We know what wars do. They fucking last forever, and they drain the fucking economy dry, and they fucking kill innocent people. It's just wrong. So I think if we all started talking more on that, and I'm starting to see more of it come together, more people are starting to line, hopefully come the libertarian route, hopefully. I'm not saying that we have it all figured out or perfect, but, you know, we're trying. But yeah, you know, I hope more and more people will start to see that and get out of their fucking echo chambers, both sides, man, and just talk with one another. You know what I mean? So, but all right, Andy, I appreciate it.
No problem.